Hi, alrighty. I'm Miriam Hepler, if you guys don't know me. Today, I'm going to be doing the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which is a grounding and sensory technique. So I chose this because it's great to use if someone's like experiencing trauma or having an anxiety attack, because it kind of just allows you to reevaluate your surroundings, reground, and regroup. So essentially, when we go into a panic, it's because our body is reacting to some sort of a threat. So even if logically we can say that there is no threat, our body needs to understand that. The 5-4-3-2-1 technique allows our parasympathetic nervous system and our sympathetic nervous system to pretty much figure out where they need to be. So when we're anxious or panicking, our sympathetic nervous system is kind of going off. So that's our fight or flight or our freeze. Personally, I'm someone who tends to freeze. So when we're anxious, that system is on overdrive, and our parasympathetic, which is the nervous system that tells us to process and evaluate, is underdriven. So by doing the grounding technique and allowing your senses to get an understanding of your surroundings, you allow those systems to switch over. So that way your parasympathetic nervous system is now the one working most effectively. I also find this very useful for the fact that you can do it very inconspicuously. So you can be in a giant group, which tends to be very anxiety-inducing for some people, and no one else needs to know that you're doing this either in your head or just to yourself. So I find that very useful that you just can do it pretty much wherever you are. So the gist of it is, like I said, it's the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. So this goes by naming each of the 5 senses around you. So it starts by naming 5 things around you that you can see, 4 things around you that you can feel, 3 things around you that you can hear, 2 things around you that you can smell, and 1 thing around you that you can taste. So I'll get a little bit more into that, and then I will also do that process with you guys. Some of them can be a little bit trickier. Definitely taste can be harder if you're kind of out and about. So what I find very useful is to have either like a lip balm that has like kind of a taste or a scent, or like gum and mints you can usually find on me. And yeah, so I'm just going to go along with this with you guys. So I'll say whichever sense that we're going to start with, and then I'll give a couple seconds, and then I will state kind of what I see or the senses that are around me. So now we're going to name to ourselves 5 different things that we can see. So 5 of the things that I can see right around me, I'm looking out the window so I can see the leaves on the trees. I can see the yellow nail polish that's on my hands. I have a little sign on my desk that has a cute little saying, so I can see that. I can also see the basketball hoop that we have outside, and I can see the lime green of my headset. So that's 5 things around me that I can see. Then we go into 4 things around you that you can feel. So for me, 4 things around me I can feel. I can feel my fan behind me, so I can feel the coolness and the breeze of that. My scrunchie's a little tight, so I can honestly feel that sitting in my hair. I tend to wear soft things, so I can definitely feel the softness of the fabric of my shirt. And I can feel the ring that's stuck on my finger as well. And then we go into 3 things around you that you can hear. So for me, I can hear outside my dad working, so I can hear his tractor and his tools working around. I can also hear, I can hear my fan blowing as well. And I can hear the birds outside since my window is open. Next is 2 things that we can smell. For me, like I said, I have my window open so I can pretty much smell like the grass and the fresh air. And then I also have a hazelnut coffee next to me so I can smell that as well. And lastly is 1 thing that we can taste. And as I mentioned before, this one can be a little trickier if you don't have something on you that you can taste. But for me, I have a vitamin water, so that one I can taste. And pretty much I find this one very useful for myself because when I'm out, like if I start to get anxious, I can get overstimulated very quickly. So I tend to kind of alter this as needed. If I'm out somewhere where there's a lot of lights or a lot of TVs or stimuli, especially visual or audio, and I am already overwhelmed, that can be more difficult to use this exercise. So what I found is that if I am in a spot where there's too many visuals going on and too many colors or anything, and I want to do this exercise, I'll pick a specific color to find 5 things of. So rather than looking around and trying to name 5 things around me that I can see, I'll name specifically 5 things that are purple. So like in my room, easy, like I can name the walls, I can name the tape that's on my desk, I can name the pencil on my desk, I have shoes under here, and I have a pillow. There's a lot of purple in here. But that's helpful in the sense that it gives me a little bit more of a feeling of control. So I just can kind of cope with that and then move on to the other senses. And like I said, carrying like mints with me for the taste. I know that some people carry scents with them, so like essential oils and things like that, especially like lavenders and calming scents. But I also find it important just to remember that like I alter it for myself. Some people don't have all abilities to their senses, whether they were born with it or it happened later in life, or even with COVID, like losing your sense of taste or smell. So definitely altering this technique to however you need it to be. But yeah, so I hope that is helpful for you guys and that you enjoyed it. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I did find a really interesting article on the parasympathetic nervous system and grounding that is in my references, so feel free to open that up. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good week, everyone.